where you've been, what you've done, and what you have done to you. You are the part of the journey that God knew you were going to be. You have all of these elements in your life. Building blocks, things that are important to you. And all of these principles, all these things, these represent principles in your life. And these are things that I want to see happen in my life. How many of you want financial security? And we look and we go, man, I want financial security on my life. I want this to stick. I'm going to take on financial security. But guess what? I take all the Dave Ramsey classes. I keep checking my credit score. But it's just not sticking. I want to walk out your purpose and your destiny in my life. I want to be who you want me to be. I totally want this. God, this is the desire of my heart. I'm passionate about this. I came to the altar and I cried my guts out and I'm ready for it, God. Whatever you want me to do, I want it, and I want it, and it just, you walk out and it's just, and we keep repeating all these things that we're asking God for, that we're saying, God, I want in my life, that this would make me happy. This is the framework of my life, and it just all falls out. And then so you come back on Sunday, and then you recommit your life to Christ. You recommit to these things, and then they keep falling. And you're like, God, why? These are God things. These are good desires. These are things you put in my heart. These are the things that I know that if I can be successful in, that I can accomplish your purpose. You called me to be successful. And God's like, yes, but you know what you're missing? You're not missing these things. These things are all good and they're God. Some of you guys are disillusioned right now because you think the things that God has placed in your heart are not of Him, because they keep falling off of your life and they keep falling apart even though you keep trying to put it together. And you're like, why, God, why? Maybe I'm just going to give up. Maybe I'm going to die to these things. Maybe I'll just go back to my old life. Maybe it's not worth following God because none of these things seem to stick. You promised me financial security, but it seems like I'm just as in debt as I always was. I don't understand why these things are happening. You told me if I trusted in you, you would give me the desires of my heart. None of these things. You know why? It's not about the desires. It's not about the things. It's not about that stuff. You know what you're missing? You're missing brass tacks. See, you're not missing the whole big picture. You're missing the little things. And the problem with the little things is you think because they're little things, they're unimportant things. Man, I'm preaching so good right now. See, some of you are ignoring the brass tacks because they seem so small and insignificant compared to everything else. And you're like, well, that can't be important because that must be God. I know you told me to do that, but that's so unimportant. Look how small it is. What good can ever come out of something this small? But you don't realize that it's the brass tacks that hold the whole chair together. And you don't realize that it doesn't matter how many things you have. If there's nothing holding it together, then it's all going to fall apart over and over again. And some of you are just experiencing life in which it's just falling apart for you over and over again. Some of you are in this vicious cycle where life is just you coming to church to try to get your life, keep it together with Scotch tape and mama spit. So you can go out in the world and the world pummels you and then it falls apart all over again. And you're like, why is that? It's because you're not taking on the brass tacks. See, you came to God and you said, I need financial security, God. I want financial security. And I asked for a new job. You gave me a new job, but I'm still in debt. I don't understand why that is. And God's like, because I promised you financial security, but the brass tack that I told you to take on, the core value I told you to take on is tithe. And you're like, but tithe, I only make $500 every paycheck. I only make about $1,000 a month, but I got $2,000 in bills. You don't understand, God. I don't see how this little tack is going to do anything. I really need the financial security. I need this to stick in my life. I don't see how this is going to do anything for me. And God's like, it ain't about the amount of money. It ain't about those things. The tithe is not about the amount of money. The tithe is a brass tack for your financial security. Man, I'm so... And if you ain't a faithful tither, God can't bring any favor into your life. And your money is just going to go right down the toilet every single day. And see, as you begin to listen to the principles of God, and they become the values in your life, all of a sudden, things start to take shape. And then every single time you add a principle of God, and you make it a core value in your life, this thing will become more and more secure. See, that's why Solomon says, the key to success is wisdom to know and recognize the brass tacks of your life, the essential elements that mean everything, without which your life will always fall apart, to recognize those brass tacks and the discipline to tack them to the wall.